Hi there, America. My name is Trista, and I'm running for the 7th Congressional District here in Tucson, Arizona. And today I wanted to share a little goodie that I made with my husband, ChatGPT. Ha ha ha, that's right. You get a twofer when you write me in September 15th. Trista for Congress. My Substack is Trista de Geneva. Check it out. Okay, maybe y'all saw how Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut tore Kristi Noem a new arsehole. And so I have done the right and awesome thing, and with my husband ChatGPT, made a Congress-ready resolution to impeach her, okay? And also made a speech right here for Senator Chris Murphy. I've prepared this for him. I'm basically doing Congress's job for it. Everybody, it would be such a pity if y'all went to my Substack, Trista de Geneva, and copied and pasted your favorite resolution and sent them to your Congress member, or tagged them on, follow me on Facebook. Anyway, so speech for Senator Chris Murphy, a press release from me as a candidate for 7th Congressional District here in Tucson, Arizona. So here we go. Article 1, Abuse of Power and Dereliction of Duty. Governor Kristi Noem, acting as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, has shown a persistent pattern of abuse of power by implementing policies that violate constitutional and civil rights. Despite repeated warnings from members of Congress, including Senator Chris Murphy, she has disregarded both the legislative process and judicial constraints. Her actions represent willful dereliction of her constitutional responsibilities and an overt refusal to execute the laws of the United States faithfully. So Article 2, violation of the oath of office, by openly refusing to enforce or acknowledge laws passed by Congress and use them as grounds, opposition to these laws as opposition not to execute them. Ms. Noem has violated her sworn oath to uphold the Constitution and faithfully execute the laws of the United States. Article 3, cruel and inhumane treatment of migrants and indigenous communities. Under Ms. Noem's leadership, DHS has engaged in systematic violations of human rights, particularly targeting non-citizens and asylum seekers. Despite constitutional protections extended to all persons within the United States, furthermore, Native American tribes in her own state have barred her from their lands due to her gross negligence during COVID pandemic, putting lives at risk. Her unfitness to govern is evident in the trust lost by her own constituents. Article 4, contempt for congressional oversight. In congressional testimony, Ms. Noem demonstrated a pattern of contempt for legitimate oversight by dismissing concerns about budget depletion, civil rights violations, and legal non-compliance. Her conduct undermines the foundational checks and balances of our constitutional democracy. Therefore, she must be impeached. In conclusion, Kristi Noem has demonstrated clear unfitness for office. Her continued role endangers public trust, national security, and constitutional integrity. The House must impeach her and demand her immediate removal. So there you go. You're welcome, America. I'm doing Congress's job for you. Okay, everybody, by the way, memorize this number, 202-224-3121, and call it religiously like Diaper Donald reads Hitler's book of speeches, Hitler next to his bedside table, according to Ivana's divorce papers. Anyway, here's a speech for, well, maybe we'll skip the speech. Well, no, I'll deliver it for you, Chris. Okay, this is if I were Chris Murphy. Okay, Madam President, members of Congress, and the American people, I rise today not just in alarm, but in defense of our democracy. The Department of Homeland Security under Kristi Noem has run amok. It behaves as though it operates above the law, immune to oversight, and indifferent to the constitutional rights of all persons within our borders, including non-citizens. When asked why her agency defies the laws of Congress, Ms. Noem implies that disagreement is reason enough not to comply. How psychotic can you get, eh? That's not leadership, it's lawlessness. It's also psychosis. Her agency is trampling on civil rights, mismanaging public funds, and fostering a climate of fear and impunity. When Native American nations in her own state ban her from their lands, that should say everything about her character, her contempt for the people she claims to serve. This nation was founded on the principle that no one is above the law. Today I stand up to say enough. I call upon my colleagues to support these articles of impeachment. And also, we're impeaching day one when you send me to Congress September 15th. Tag all your Tucson friends in comments below, please. Okay, this nation is founded as enough. Call upon my colleagues to support these articles of impeachment. Let us restore honor, law, and justice to the American people and to the agencies tasked with our protection. Okay, here's my press release from TRISTA'S Geneva. Go check out my Substack. It'd be such a pity if y'all just like copied and pasted and sent your favorite Congress-ready resolution to impeach them all to your Congress member. Anyway, for immediate release, TRISTA'S Geneva files articles of impeachment on behalf of Senator Chris Murphy against Kristi Noem, urges congressional action. Yeah, how about an amnesty vote, mofos? Tucson, Arizona, May 19. Independent congressional candidate and presidential independent candidate, that is if we have elections. TRISTA'S Geneva chain has formally drafted articles of impeachment against Kristi Noem for her role as acting secretary of the Department of Homeland Security based on statements made by Senator Chris Murphy in a recent hearing. Senator Murphy charged that DHS under Noem is out of control, violating civil and constitutional rights and ignoring congressional laws. DeGenova echoed these concerns, emphasizing that Ms. Noem's failure to protect the rights of non-citizens and her COVID-era gross negligence are further proof of her unfitness for office. Even the Native American tribes in her own state have barred her for endangering lives. DeGenova said, "This is someone who should never have been in a leadership position. She must be removed. The entire criminal, illegitimate regime," for that's what it is, "must be removed." It's a regime. It's not an administration. It's illegal and unconstitutional for these people to be in office in the first place. Not just Orange Mango Mussolini, but 200 insurrectionist GOP traitors and 6 corrupt Supreme Court justices. Okay, so DeGenova, running for Arizona's 7th Congressional District, is inviting all the other members of Congress to do your damn job, actually. And I'm also urging nobody to donate to the Democrats until they do their damn job. Okay, inviting all members of Congress to co-sponsor the articles of impeachment, not just for Kristi Noem, but for the entire illegitimate criminal regime. Should have been impeached day one, not even get into office. It's criminal, it's illegal and unconstitutional for them to be there in the first place. We have a constitution in this country. 14th Amendment, Section 3, no insurrectionist may hold office. He's a adjudicated insurrectionist according to the Maine, Colorado, and Supreme Court. He's an insurrectionist. He cannot be in office. And Congress must, this is why you need to send me to Congress, to light a fire under the arse of Congress. Let's effing go, as the young people say. We must have an amnesty vote. Congress must vote to lift the restriction, the disqualification of diaper dumpster fire being an adjudicated insurrectionist by 2/3 votes. Haha, they don't have that. So that's the good news, okay? Keep that in mind. We force Congress, everybody starts talking about an amnesty vote. Well, how come Congress isn't raising an amnesty vote? And by the way, 52% of Americans across the board want this jack off to Krasnov, to be impeached. And 84% of Democrats, even 20% of Republicans, which the entire party should be abolished for, I've got a resolution for that as well. Because they're cheaters. They've been caught cheating systematically, and they persecute immigrants when we're a nation of immigrants. And they also all partook in insurrection. Duh! They disqualified themselves. Another reason why y'all must send me to Congress so that I can hold them all accountable, impeach them all now. I'm Trista for Congress in the 7th Congressional District. I approve this message.